At this time, I'd like to recognize a couple of guests we have in the audience, our Assemblymen, Rob Karabinchak and Assemblyman Sterley Stanley, who represent us in Trenton. And they have generously awarded East Brunswick with funding from Trenton for our pool expansion project at Crystal Springs Family Water Park. The floor is yours, gentlemen.
Thank you, Council President, Assemblyman Rob Karabinchak. It's our honor to be here tonight to be able to say that we're bringing you $500,000 for the Crystal Springs Family Water Park for the renovation. And this is so important for families and communities in East Brunswick. Except there's more exciting news that Assemblyman Stanley is going to share with you.
Yes. As you know, over the last couple of years, we've had rash problems as far as burglaries and car thefts going on in not just East Brunswick, but throughout our district and throughout New Jersey as well. And working with local law enforcement and local mayors in and around District 18 and throughout New Jersey, I was able to sponsor a bill called A4299, which would make it a first and second degree crime for armed invasion of homes, as well as especially with juveniles. And speaking to most of the prosecutors, we had meetings with the juvenile prosecutors in 7 counties and also all the chiefs of police within our district. And having come to conclusion, working with the AG's office and the governor's office, and we had a great discourse with the leadership of both the Assembly and the Senate, and we were able to present this bill, and this bill just got passed in the last voting session, and our governor is going to sign this bill this coming Friday. So this coming Friday, it's going to become law that all juveniles who are caught with armed invasions of homes will be prosecuted either as a first degree or second degree crime. So it's no longer a slap on the wrist and they get to go home. There's severe consequences for burglarizing our homes. And we recognize this, we recognize the fact that our home is our sanctuary. So we want to make sure that we're down in Trenton fighting for the safety of our homes. And every single family is affected by this. And we want to make sure that we all realize the fact that we've heard the people's voices. And that's why we've done. I was a prime sponsor on this, but Assemblyman Karabinchak, he was the second prime on this. And we fought very hard down in Trenton for our, residents here. So that's one thing I want to leave with you tonight, is that this is going to become law as of this Friday.
Congratulations, men.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you.
Council, any comments, please? Mayor Cohen?
First of all, thank you for that piece of legislation, and thank you for your continued efforts at getting us the type of help that we need in order to provide the services to residents through grants that ultimately would have otherwise cost taxpayers money. And that's beyond just the money that you got us for the enclosure of the pool over at Crystal Springs, which, besides the fact that it will help make the pool a year-round facility, but the entire facility will be year-round to the members of the public. But you've also gotten us money for the Community Arts Center. You've gotten us money for the ice rinks, which, as many of you know, are already starting to be built. Almost every year now since taking office, you've gotten us money through the Transportation Trust Fund to help offset some of the costs of some of the bigger roads in town, which are our roads, ultimately would have cost taxpayers money for that. Improvements to the building here itself, many of the security upgrades, senior center upgrades, new roof that was installed there. So many things that go beyond just the things that hit the news. And these are saving taxpayers millions of dollars every year. Just to add a little flavor onto the bill, as I'm sure you know, a lot of the increase in car theft and home invasion that's been going on for several years now, and again, like you mentioned, throughout the state, not just East Brunswick, are part of large gangs, large groups that are organized well outside of East Brunswick, and many of them these gangs, these groups have been using juveniles for a very long period of time because the laws were so lax on juveniles. So they would recruit a lot of younger people to come in and do these car thefts and home invasions. And I think that this is a necessary step in order to stem that tide, which goes well beyond East Brunswick, and I think really gets to the heart of these organized crime units that are going out there and invading people's privacies and sometimes putting everybody's life and safety at risk. So thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Before you leave, as both of you know, I spent 37 years in the educational system here in town, 31 years of that at the high school. And there was just constantly a conversation about a pool for not only our swim team, but also for the residents of the town. Twice during the 31 years that I was at the high school, referendums were shot down in this community for the pool. Finally, Mayor Cohn took the initiative of saying that I'm going to do something for everyone, not just one small group of people, but everyone who wants to make use of the pool. And then to find out that you were able to solidify, secure, make sure that we were receiving $500,000 for this construction. As the chairman, as the president of this council, just wanted to make sure you understand, we really appreciate that.
Thank you, Council President.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for coming out tonight, too.